And we're just getting into the first chapter of The Whispering Mountain by Joan Aiken. These are long chapters. This chapter is 34 pages long. We are only on page 5, and we are kind of at the mercy of how much my phone will allow me to record. But we have met Owen, who attends the Jones Academy for the Sons of Gentlemen and Respectable Tradesmen in Pennygraph, which seems to be a place that people do not like to go out at night. But there's some bullies that are after our hero, and he is really afraid that if he runs from them, his glasses are going to get broken. So it seems like the bullies have finally shown up, and we'll start where the video cut out last time. There was no second way out of the school, which stood enclosed by iron railings higher up the mountains than any other building on that side of Pennygraph. To reach home, Owen was obliged to descend the steep winding hill through the town, cross the single bridge over the river Gaff, and climb an equally steep hill on the other side. Even supposing he could outdistance his enemies as far as the bridge, he could hardly keep ahead of them up the farther hill. Some of them would almost certainly be posted on the bridge, waiting for him. Now a second figure dashed across the road, ape-like and crouching. He recognized Maud, and to his left Owen heard the sound of a throat being cleared, deliberately, mocking and shrill. That was Hwaffa, who, despite his size, still sang treble in the chapel choir. "Well now, boys," whispered another voice. That was Luggins. "If the snivelling little drummer won't come out, go in and get him, we must." Searching his pockets for anything that might serve as a weapon, Owen found a small, heavy worsted bag. He ran his fingers over it in bewilderment. What could it be? Then he recalled that his grandfather had bidden him go during his dinner hour and collect a couple of items that had been omitted from a weekly order set up by old Mrs. Evans at the grocery. Soap and something else. Perhaps whatever it was would serve to delay his attackers for a moment. Just then, both parties were checked by a new sound, the clip-clop of hooves and carriage, wheels rattling over an uneven roadway. Next moment, a chaise came briskly round the corner above the school and drew to a halt beside the gates, its single lamp shining in Owen's face. "Hey, you there, boy!" The driver's voice startled Owen by its loud, harsh, resonant tones. A tall man, swathed in many capes, waved a whip at him commandingly. The deep brim of his beaver hat shaded his face from Owen's view. "Yes, sir," he stammered. "Can I help you?" "Is this dismal place the town of Pennygraph?" "Yes, sir." "Thank God for that. At least I've been travelling these hideous black hills for the best part of 3 hours. I wish to heaven I may never have to set foot here again. Well then, can you direct me to the museum, though? By Beelzebub, if ever there was a piece of errant impudence, it is for a prehistoric settlement like this to process such a thing. Place should be on show itself as a savage relic." "Down the hill, sir, across the bridge and up the other side. You'll see it on your right, above the Habakkuk Chapel," said Owen, rather indignant at this slight on the town of his ancestors, and surprised, too. What could the stranger want with the museum at such an hour? "Any decent inns here?" the man demanded. "There's one inn, sir, the Dragon of Guan, by the bridge." "One? Is that all? How far is this desolate spot from Caer Malin?" "A matter of 20 miles, sir." "Perdition! The mare'll never do it. She's dead lame. I fear I must resign myself to pass the night at the inn." The driver was about to touch up his horses when he paused again and said in a careless, offhand manner, "Do you know, boy, if a pair of ruffian rogues of English peddlers have come by this hamlet recently, a tall man and a short one, Bilk and Prigman, I believe they call themselves?" Why, yes, sir," Owen said ponderingly. "I do believe such a pair has been about. You might hear tell of them at the inn." "Humph, very probably. Come up then, mare." The chaise clattered on without a word of thanks from its driver, leaving Owen ready to curse himself for his folly at letting slip such a chance of escape. Why had he not offered to accompany the man and show him the way to the museum? Nothing could have been more natural, but there was something about the stranger's harsh voice and cold, half-angry bearing that made Owen discard the notion as soon as it entered his head. This was not a man likely to grant favors. Almost before the sound of hoofs had faded down the hill, Owen's attackers were closing in once more. Only 3 of them, though. It seemed that he had guessed right. Soph, Dick, Fullentine, and Dove were waiting down at the bridge to cut off his escape. Well, he would sell his life dear. He pulled the cloth bag from his pocket, delving inside, extracted a twist of paper. "Go on, Hoffa, man, pound little flamer," whispered Mogg, as the three of them edged toward Owen, suddenly taking the initiative, darted forward, and shot the contents of the... As the three of them edged toward him, Owen, suddenly taking the initiative, darted forward and shot the contents of the pocket full into Hoffa's face. It was snuff. Nothing could have been more unexpected or more successful. Stopping short with a gasp of pain, Hoffa rubbed and rubbed at his eyes, cursing and blubbering. "Wait till I get at you, will you? Oh, damn my eyes! Have the head off him, Mogg!" But Owen had not waited. Darting past Hoffa, he doubled round Luggins and Mogg, while they were still taken by surprise, and was off like lightning down the hill. In a moment, though, he heard them coming after him. A cobblestone whistled past his ears. He had very little start. Halfway down the road,